everyone. How is everyone doing today? Welcome back to Little Moon Tarot. I've been there's just a lot today. Recently I've been realizing it was time to get a Rider-Waite, and not that I don't have a deck. It is someplace. Only God knows where, but I got it many years ago before I really started reading tarot, like 20 years ago. But just this week, I got that, and then this deck came in my head, and I went back into my wish list, and I was like, oh, this is, and I got it. And to be very honest, and I know all of my lovely witchies out there, and my Claire, I know my lovely Claires out there will get it. Will get this. I could feel this coming to me. I could feel this. It had this message it needed to get to me. Now I know that I know the Claires and the witches out there. Y'all will get it. But so I started shuffling it up, and I got a message out, and it was like, share this with everyone. So there's like so much energy. It's like, welcome to the spiritual cafeteria, everybody. My atmosphere is a lot like a cafeteria. It's like a junior high school cafeteria. You got someone popping in here, someone popping in here. Eventually there may be some channeling where you're watching me crochet because they're telling me that I'm not gonna need the cards all the time, and that's fine. I just sat there and was like, yeah, I'll just use mine. You'll crochet, guys. But this is called Birth of Wishes. This is so strong. We have our dreamer here starting this off, our Page of Cups. And I love how it has everything on it. And not necessarily because I need to reference it, but let's face it, not everybody can remember everything, right? And that is okay. But because it gives me more to look at. And it's as if she's welcoming. She's welcoming. And it feels to me more like the page is here, okay? The page is here. Let me see if I can do this. We'll see if this falls over. Mighty Morphin. Ooh. Let's see what our little blessed beads do here. Oh. I don't know why that just feels so perfect. But it's as if she's escorting us into this reading. And she says, see, here's this cup for celebration, and here's a fish, here's our guide. And if you watch Hitchhiker's Guide and you know what a babel fish is, I believe that's what it's called. It translates all the different languages. And the Tower of Babel, all the different languages, and nobody could understand them. Or was it really that everybody's language was different, or is it just that we all grew in different ways, segregated each other, and then we couldn't understand each other? I mean, think about it this way. What do you call someone that's 60 plus? You call them a boomer. What do you call someone that's 50? A Gen Xer. Is that community or is that segregation? Think about it. But she's there. And she's got the babel fish, and she's bringing you in to community, and she's bringing you into understanding. And oh, I did. Oh, see, this is what it does. I'm sitting here going, I didn't grab my glasses. I'm going to have to go and grab them. And I'm telling you, this is from an ADHDer and an AUDHDer. When you get that little thing in your head that says, you know what, I should probably grab those and bring them in there with me. And the other part of you says, you know what, you stop yourself and go, listen, it's a pair of glasses. I'm going to pick it up, bring it in there. If I don't need it, at least I know where it is later. And you will, because you can. I know you can remember, because you can choose to do so. So, oh my gosh. I'm so happy and excited with my own self. You know, you gotta have those little joys. You've gotta have those little things, because when you're excited about something that you did that's proactive for you, that means now I don't have to move the table and go around dog dishes, because we're in the kitchen, everybody. We got a snoring pug next to us. I don't have to do that now. I don't have to, you know, waste your time as I run around and you see part of the kitchen, and you know, eventually there might be a cat, but I opened up a window because it's a nice day. So, you know, got my coffee going here. So, when those little things happen, take them, because you got to take all those little joys, and you gotta bring them together like a cluster. Like a cluster of stones. No one, I was going to put that one over there and I decided not to, but this proves my point right here. You've got to take all those little joys and you got to cluster them together like a bunch of little stones, because isn't that pretty? I mean, yeah, one stone on its own is pretty, right? It is. It's always going to be beautiful on its own. But when the bad thing happens, you don't see it, do you? Can't even see that this says you've got the power under it. But if you have a bunch of clusters of little happy moments, and when the bad things happen, they're still going to be bad. They're not going to go away. But you know it's not all lost, because you have that cluster to look at. And it's a multitude of different little things, not just one thing. Remember, that bad thing, I must be saying this for somebody actually, that bad thing is just the one thing. It's just the one thing. All of the little clusters here are what matters. That one thing, these little clusters can help make better. Is it going to go away completely? No, because it never goes away completely. We choose to make a wish within ourselves that we don't want to feel this way anymore. So we're going to be proactive and change it. We're going to step back and notice our patterns, whether they're good patterns, meh patterns, or toxic patterns, and then you stop, you step back, and you face it, and that's what you deal with. That's what you do, because that's growth and moving forward. And this is for everything that you do in your life, whether it's school, whether it's relationships, whether it's work, it's moving forward and growing. And part of that is also stopping and listening and realizing. And I'm saying this as an AUDHDer. I can talk very quickly, and probably right now I don't know what I sound like, probably normal. But if I really, really wanted to, I could talk really, really fast all the time, and it really wouldn't take anything, and it doesn't take anything out of my mind to actually talk this quickly. You see what I'm saying? But I have to be the one to choose. I have to be the one to choose to slow down. I have to be the one to stop and step back and realize that not everybody is going to understand that. Eminem is going to understand that. He might even be proud of me. But, you know, God, that man's a good human being. Heart and soul, he really and truly is. 100%. Yeah. I see a couple spirits here, and they're like, yeah. I see like a fist bump forward, and I see a blue bandana. And I hear, yeah, he is that good of a human. Like I said, it's an atmospheric cafeteria. My atmosphere is a freaking junior high cafeteria. I can't help it. God, Telling you. But see, if I do get up, the only thing I'm getting up for is to make more coffee. And I know everybody will understand that. So that is growth, and that is change, and that is how we learn. Ooh, that was a channel. Bye. Nice seeing you. Talk to you later. Oh, he's leaving. He's great. Oh, I love him. Oh, he's got great eyes and joy. He's beautiful. He's joy. He's so happy up there. He loves watching down. I'm really kind of curious. I think he's only, it almost feels like only a couple other clairvoyant. Oh, yeah, he just doesn't talk to many. That's fair. Ooh, he's chatty. He's great, though. Well, he can stick around all he wants. So, bye, sir. See you later. So our page is bringing us in, and it's funny because I had a friend and I did a reading for her once, and I have a pug who lives with a former, and he's my tarot dog, and he would flip cards. And this just reminds me of that thing he did one time where he flipped a card, and it was like the card entered my friend into this reading, and our page enters us in this. Our page brings us a cup. Our page is a woman. Maybe people don't recognize her always as a woman, but she is. And honest to God, if you see this and you're resonating with a different gender, you do you, boo-boo. Measure those chocolate chips with your heart. You do you. And as I say, gotta have room for that baking though. But at this point, actually with this kind of thing, you can just measure those chocolate chips with your heart. Because we all know you're gonna eat that cookie batter. And put the freaking eggs in it for the love of God. Here is my 2-cent vent, and just hear me out. It is 2024. We are obsessed with putting eggs into the refrigerator. Technically, if you just dust them off and you don't wash them, they're perfectly fine to be out, and I leave them out all the time, and you can ask any egg farmer, and they leave them out too. Because there's a special coating that comes when the egg leaves the chicken. There's a special coating that goes over it that keeps out all of the germs and bacteria. It's very important, and that's why a lot of times good eggs, you'll see they'll have like a little bit of chicken, a little bit of dirt on them, because that means that they've only been kind of dusted off. And that very special coating, I can't remember what it's called. Can't remember. If you guys know, put it down in the comments and let me know. And that keeps you from getting salmonella. We are the only country that actually refrigerates our eggs. But either way, we refrigerate our eggs. You refrigerate your eggs unless you're, not refrigerating your eggs. And we all know that, yes, there are cases of salmonella. And a lot of them in the 80s were because the eggs were being washed and then they were being left out because there was a transitional period and yada, 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 yada. And now we all know that we sit there and lick the cake batter and the brownie batter and the cookie batter. So just make that chocolate chip cookie dough, freeze it in little round balls, take it out when you want to, and that way you can either eat it as dough or bake it. And the only thing you really need to be worried about is the fact that you shouldn't be eating flour. Raw, large amounts of raw flour you should not be eating because it binds up. Listen, I had a dog that once passed away from eating a box of Bisquick, so I pay attention to that stuff. And yes, he literally took it out of the Lazy Susan, brought it upstairs, and ate the box, was not home. I had to literally cordon off the kitchen, but on this weekend, what had happened is Annie decided to get out, so I was looking around for a dog. It was just awful. Thankfully, we got her back. He passed away. It was awful. But now, I babysit a dog that looks just like him. And the first moment I saw him, I felt his spirit come through her, and it was just I know that some of you out there are, I can feel that, I can feel you guys. I can feel the ones of you out there that know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. 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 It's that feeling. You know it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly that. So, yeah, so yeah, things happen. Really horrible things happen. But look at this, coming full circle. But really horrible things happen, right? But we have these clusters of happy moments. And sometimes we have clusters of happy moments within those, before those sad moments. Like, my dog's name was Max, Maxwell Bartholomew Foos. And he had this little squeaker toy. It was just like the head. He had this toy, and he squeaked it, and he played with it until there was just a head. I still have the head. And then after that, he would just walk around and chew the head like it was bubblegum. And that was his toy. And the people that we got him from, that was the toy that he had found in their doghouse when they found him in their doghouse. That toy came from their house. And he would just walk around and just chew it. And then I got him this little, and he loved the squeakers, and I got him this little chicken. And he would just walk around and squeak, squeak, squeak. I mean, that was the sound, and then would just squeak. So one day I looked at my sister, let me see that, and I poked a hole in it, and I got rid of the sound, and I gave it back to him, and he went to squeak it, and he looked at me like, what the hell did you just do? And I never took another squeaker away from that dog again. I felt so bad. And oh my God. So then, because I was with my first husband, he wanted a pug, and my friend Cindy, oh God, I love her so much. She taught me so much in life. Her aunt had these dogs, and so she took me, because he wanted one, and I was going to surprise him with one, and he took me, and that's where I met my little dog Misha. She's a little pug Pekingese mix. She is the why I went to dog training class. Yeah. This dog was 2.5 pounds, walking across the yard. We were building a fence so that, keep all the dogs in the yard. And I go, Misha, honey, come here, baby. Come here. And she stops. And if you have a pug, you know what I'm talking about. Or a pug Pekingese or a Pekingese. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And she stops, and she turns her little head, and she looks at me, and then she slowly turns it back. And then she starts walking forward. And I launched off of there, picked her up, and looked at my ex-husband and went, we're going to, we went to PetSmart, we went to Puppy Head Start, highly recommend it. Learned so much. And she was amazing. When it came to lay down, she wouldn't lay down. She would just put her chin on the floor and look up at me. I was like, oh my friggin' God, I can't take this now. She was wonderful. But I met her through my friend Cindy, and I held her as a little 3-year-old puppy, and she was only this big. My gosh, she was literally like only this big. And her papa came over here and kissed her, and her mama came over here, and I felt approved, and I brought her home, and I had her for 14 years. She died just before COVID, and then we adopted Ernie from the shelter. My God, they were best friends. She would go after his toys, and I never thought I'd have to warn a small dog, a puppy, about not going after the big dog's face, because she would just like try to take his toys. And because, she's a pug Pekingese, she doesn't know what size she is. This dog isn't even 2 pounds yet, people. She's not even 2 pounds. She's going after this, and he's a pit bull. Okay, he's like this pit bull boxer lab thing. You know the ones I'm talking about, that they just look different, and I don't know what breed that is, but I would like to know, because I think they're gorgeous. I think they're one of the most beautiful breeds of pit bull. And I love their nature, and very, very good-natured dogs. And we are pity fans. We are pity fans here. I don't discriminate on dogs. Nope. Cats, humans. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 But bad humans. Either way. But she would go. He wouldn't let her have her toy. So she would go and be interested in another toy, and then he would go and try to take that toy from her, and then she would go get the toy she wanted. She was too smart. When all of the dogs were getting in trouble, she was the one who, when I was calling the dogs to see what was going on, because you know when you have kids, they get a little too quiet, and you're like, wait, what? It's gotten too quiet in here. Oh my God. She would just run in like, oh, hey, how are you? How are you? We're all good. I walked in the kitchen, after she did that one day, I walked into the kitchen to find a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix literally trapped in a plastic bag because she is dumber than a box of rocks. I love that dog. She had Alzheimer's. She is dumb, 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 though. Dumbity dum dum, dum dum gum gum. Oh, I loved her, though. She's a love. She was the dog that she would never come back home because she loved to meet and greet people. So do you see what I'm saying here? One big horrible thing. But was it everything? No. Because those clusters of happiness help us remember the happy things, even though there's a sad thing. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have to mourn that sad thing, and it doesn't mean that we can live in the past and in those happy things. We have to have that balance, right? You got to remember the happy with the sad. It's all wabi-sabi. It's the imperfection with imperfection that makes perfection perfect, right? And you've all been going through that. You've, all been going through this. It's insane. They're telling me the stuff that you guys have been through. And I'm not saying anything because I myself have been through my own journey, I mean, we all have things that affect us, right? We do. But what I'm being told is that the spiritual evaluation is complete, they just told me. You made a wish upon a star, Birth of Wishes. This song is called Birth of Wishes. It's actually called Umararu Nagai. Okay? It's from Fruits Basket. And if you haven't seen this anime, do watch the newest one. The first iteration is good. It's good for what it is. That's not the one you want to watch. You want to watch the new one. Bring your tissues. And if sometimes I find slice of life Japanese anime to be very healing. And I found this anime to be healing as well. I associated a lot with it because of the main character and her parental figure. It's why I love the movie Chocolat as well. I love that contrast between Juliette Binoche and her mother and her daughter. I love that whole thing. It really speaks to me. But then I was raised by my mom, who's a single parent. Single parents. So, we might be getting up good coffee. But I can do two things at one time, so I can still talk and do this. I love it. My kitchen's like, yeah, thankfully you get to, channel this to people instead of channeling it just out to the kitchen. Because, sometimes you got to be in your kitchen and vent. Ugh. Oh, yeah. You got to have that room, right? That space to which is yours. So, our page is entering us into a new chapter. They're telling us, our old chapter is leaving. Our new chapter is beginning. And the Wheel of Fortune. And it's funny because yesterday I was listening to someone and the Wheel of Fortune, and the world came out. And I got this distinct vision of, you know, when you're on the Wheel of Fortune, at some point on the Wheel of Fortune, you got to be here on top where the Pharaoh is, okay? Did you know that this is actually a woman? This Pharaoh is actually a woman. They just found this out. It's so exciting. And she actually did have a beard, everybody. She did have a beard. Make facial hair on women okay. Sometimes people just got that, right? Our bodies are our bodies. We got to love ourselves as we are, because if you keep trying to change who you are, you never actually love who you are. You just want to pretend to be something that you're not. You know, a little nip, a little tuck, that's okay. You want to get that rhinoplasty, get that rhinoplasty. Just don't be an asshole afterwards. I'm just saying. So, you know, there are times when you're going around the Wheel of Fortune, because there's a wheel. And you know, every once in a while, you do kind of feel like you've been flicked by that little ticka, 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 ticka thing. But sometimes you're on top of the ticka, ticka, ticka thing. And when I saw the Wheel of Fortune, and I think it was Heartwarmers Tarot. Oh, I love her. She's they're absolutely wonderful. I don't know who they are, but they're wonderful. Heartwarmers Tattoo. Do look them up. They're absolutely, absolutely wonderful. And all I could see was right now, whoever this is in the collective, and I have a feeling, no, I have a feeling the world is going to come out. But it felt like you're on top of the world. It felt like you can see clearly at the moment. You're on top of the Wheel of Fortune, but you're not on top of the Wheel of Fortune the way that the Pharaoh is here, okay? Now, the thing with being on top of the wheel is the following. And obviously everybody is different and everybody's reading is different, and the wonderful thing about tarot cards is you can see many things inside, and you can see many things that you need to see to give the reading you need to give. The majority of time, when you're on top of the Wheel of Fortune, you're only there to see a little thing that you need to see. It's just a little insight. You need to see it, and then you need to jump back onto the wheel, okay? You need to jump back onto the wheel. But the world with the Wheel of Fortune told me that the world, this was going to keep spinning. The Wheel of Fortune is going to keep spinning. There's still going to be a Pharaoh on top. But when you're with the world and the Wheel of Fortune, everything stops and you can see clearly. Barbra Streisand, On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. It's an amazing movie about a sensitive woman, a clairvoyant, and Barbra Streisand plays a clairvoyant. And she does say, you know, on a clear day you can see forever. And that's not untrue, and I have seen that. On a clear day you can see forever forward, and you can see forever backwards, and you can see where the land was, and you can see where the land will be. And you realize that you are a small part of this world. And you realize that the only reason humans are here is to take care of the things around us. The little creatures that are here. That's what we're here for. It's not the thumbs. It's not what, this isn't what, it's the fact that we could learn how to live in a cave, build our own cave. I actually heard someone say something recently. We moved into caves with bugs, and then we built better caves, and the bugs moved in with us. That's pretty much what it is. Because, I want to call her the Great Mother, but the universe, God, actually, excuse me, pardon me. Ooh, burpee, burpee, burpee. Ooh, I am a burpee girl. And I don't try to hide it. Why bother hiding who you are? Be who you are. Just if you know your moments when you have to rein yourself in, but never, don't ever try to be something you're not. Because the more people see who you really are, then they're really gonna, But I also get masking. I'm not saying I don't get it. I think I lost something there for a second. It'll come back. But yes, so on a clear day, you can see forever. And yes, because, the earth can take us away in a heartbeat. Look at what's going on right now. I live on Lake Ontario, and I need to not bang on things as hard. And if you are neurodivergent and you notice yourself bang on something and something goes down and you're like, my God, I didn't mean to hit it that hard. Oof, that is your first realization that, I need to be a little lighter, a little gentler. And isn't that funny? See, sometimes things just correlate together. We need to be gentler. Gentler as humans, gentler with the earth, gentler with ourselves, right? No, that's fair. And sometimes you've got to look and see what you're doing and start over. There we are. And now I need to learn to be softer so that I'm not knocking that over, because that's a gentle and that's there. But if I knock this, this seems to be a thing here. So yes, the world can take people out at any time, and then it'll bring whatever other creature learns how to make a nice cave for the bugs and the mice and the rats and the whatevers. Because God knows I have me a little stink bug in here, and I refuse to throw them outside because I just think they're adorable. I love their little shells. I just think they're cute, and I can't take it. Oh my God. But so we all need to have a little gentleness, and at the end of the day, when you can, this is a very good point. Thank you, Spirit. When you're on top of the wheel, and you are on top, because if you're on top of the wheel and you're on top of the world and you're in the world and you're seeing everything, on a clear day you can see forever. And those who are transitioning, those whose spidey senses and clairvoyance are really coming in, having rapid ascension, you're going to see this, okay? Like if you're noticing that you're not second guessing yourself as much, for me, it was this duality of, I would think it was one thing, it was actually the opposite. And then I would go, no, I have to go with the opposite. So I would go with the opposite, and then I would be wrong. But then I always knew that my first choice was right. And I had to stop and step back and go, okay, I have this cross feeling. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to see what the right choice is. And that's when I let my brain relax. And you've got to break that bit of bond that is making you doubt yourself, because it is a doubt. And it's when you relax your brain and you go, okay, I'm not going to doubt myself, I'm just going to look at it and see what it is, that you're able to more clearly realize what the right feeling is for you, that shows you what is correct in your atmospheric cafeteria. You see what I'm saying here? And as that is happening, all of a sudden you can see everything. Like, you will look at people and you will just see everything. They'll be talking and you will be able to see the story they're saying, and then when they're not being truthful, you'll be able to see it. And it's noticing that and understanding and stepping back, because you are becoming clear. You're becoming more clairvoyant. You're becoming, as Anna Dacia once said, you are becoming all the clairs. All the clairs. And that's really important. And it's scary. And on a clear day, you are on top of the wheel of fortune, and you are on top of the world, and you can see forever, and you can get very heady, and you can get very, but you have to kind of narrow your view a little bit and bring yourself down. And that's part of it. They're going to show you everything all at once. Everything everywhere all at once. Ooh, we've got an Oscarino coming over. And then you have to learn how to pare it down and bring it here, so that you're only seeing here. Because the more you see out that way, the scarier the stuff is coming in. Because remember, the stuff you're going to see behind is pretty well accurate and given to you in what your brain is capable to understand. The future is changeable. For instance, I have friends that I've looked at and said, listen, I know you don't want to get pregnant, but my spidey senses are telling me if you don't want to get pregnant, you need to take more precautions than the pill. Okay? I'm just saying. Whatever you're doing, maybe not do anything for the next 6 weeks, you know? And then they don't get pregnant. I've had clients that, you know, they are trying to have a baby, and it's like, okay, I can see this happening like within the next 6 months to a year, because anything can change. Everything is fallible. And it might be within that 6 months of a year that you see this happening, that maybe there's something that happens in their marriage and they break up, or maybe they decide not to have kids for some reason, or maybe an adoption happens and they put having their own on hold. You know, everything is changeable. Yeah. Everything is changeable. And when you're clairvoyant, you are just getting your clairs in, it is a whoosh of everything. It's like Star Wars when they go into hyperdrive. You know, it's like when you watch Star Trek and oh God, oh my God, I know, I love Voyager is my favorite. Oh, I'm a Janeway girl all the way. All I can think of is hyperdrive. I can't think. I know what it's called in Star Trek, but my mind is completely blanking, and I'm not going to worry about going backwards to worry about it. Warp drive. See, if you learn how to go backwards, then when you realize it's a thing. I'll tell you about it someday if you want me to explain how I do it. For my ADHD, I do this for my AUDHD, and it really works. But you can really see everything. And that's kind of like when you start finding your group of people, you know, your quartets. Your quartets. So this page is welcoming you into this. So Spirit's telling me this is like for a very unique bunch of people. Because there's a group of people who had, it's like everything took a jump to the left, and then when it stepped back to the right, some things jumped over what it originally was, and then just some things just jumped back over into it because they were fixed and they could do that. But then some things just jumped over it and it went into a different timeline. And this is where we are welcoming you. There is a small amount of you within that group that is here, and we are welcoming this group here. Okay, so we have the original group of people. Everything was fine. And then there was a jump to the left. Okay, And then when there was supposed to be a step to the right, here to fix things, some things went over it. They went to the right too far. So rather than going here, they just went here. These people in the ER, hello, ER. I'm not sure who this is for, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If you work in an emergency room and you see that you have a fellow nurse who's not doing well, can you just make sure that check on them? Check on them more than what you think. Like if you like literally have to like go and look at like the head nurse and say, listen, I need to keep an eye on her. Can you, and you get a group of people, like do that. I just see this person like shrinking down, but yet being there and saying, yeah, I'm fine. But they're like shrinking down inside, and I'm being told drive them home. Look at this person and say, hey, I found this movie. Do you want to go watch it? Find something. Go home with them. Drive them home. And if on the way you drive them home, you're driving them back to work, and they're getting a psych eval, perfect. I feel like somebody's in an emergency room is really, really depressed. And I'm telling you, it's a nurse or a doctor. It is somebody there. Somebody who has worked really hard, and they have really kept a lot of their depression and anxiety down, and they haven't told anybody. And right now it's just, I just see this like little black vein of they're really hurting. And you're going to pick up on it. And like everything, all readings are timeless pretty much, because everything is going to come to you. Even poetry is timeless, is a timeless reading. That poetry is going to hit you when you need it. So whenever you see this, okay, if you work in an ER, you know somebody that works in an ER, but what I am being shown is like blue scrubs. I'm being shown royal blue scrubs. My mom was a nurse and her scrubs were royal blue. But I know that but I see other different colored scrubs around it. So these are royal blue scrubs. It's a person with darker hair, kind of short, above the ears, maybe a bob longer. I'm unsure. Hold on, I need to do a Spidey check. Yeah, they're okay. Okay. I'm making sure that this isn't my nurse. See? I was not gentle. Be gentle with yourselves. This nurse needs to be gentle with themselves. I'm unsure of who this human is. But you see, with a little help, we can straighten ourselves, can't we? But yeah, that was like a real like insistent energy telling me that. Can I just say that Spirit is loving how I am just rambling? They're just, I'm telling you, it's like junior high school cafeteria, and it's like they're mostly like in my high school cafeteria, we had like a group of boys that would sit around the table, and they would each have 2 lunches apiece, and there was like 13 boys around a table that held like 8. Actually, it was more like 16 boys. And then Van Halen would come on, and all of a sudden that table would just like explode, and it was just pure joy. I have a biker gang. I'm just saying, and they're all those, you know, it's hysterical. I love it. I love my gifts. But yeah, take care of your nurse, because they're telling me they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you, and you're going to wake up the next morning and wish that you had driven them home. For some of you, this is going to be a little less, but there's like one of you out there where you just follow that spidey sense. And you know, or if you are somebody that might know this person and tell them to follow their spidey sense, but I really feel like this person is actually going to be listening to this eventually, like within like the next year to 2 years. So if you do, follow your spidey sense. Let's prove me wrong. Let's prove me wrong and drive them home and then drive them back to work for a psych eval. It's not going to hurt a thing. There is no shame in that. See? You can't hide. Can't hide. You shouldn't hide. Hid long enough. See? Page says you can't hide anymore. Nope. No more hiding. And the wheel, that's just telling the clairvoyant this is for that. And obviously this can be for anybody that resonates with it, but I know that the clairvoyants will. Whatever made you jump here, you've been caught in midair. Jesus Christ. Excuse my language, Yeshua. Apologize. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fair. How many times am I going to put this up before I give up? How many times do you guys give up? Do we give up? Never Die, Never Surrender by Grabthar's Hammer. Never give up, never surrender. And we didn't surrender, did we? Because the page is telling us, the page has said, oh, by the way, by the way, we're taking our 7 wands and we're sticking them in the ground. We're sticking them in the ground. We're sticking them in the ground because these, my friends, these are our fields of, I haven't decided if I want to swear yet. I find sometimes my spirit guides don't like the F word. I like the F word. She does too, that's funny. But yeah, you've planted. You're planted. You're done with whatever you're doing, and this is your last one. This is your last fuck, and you're putting it in the ground. And this field of fucks, these are for the people that you care about. You know, at the end of the day, my theory is this is my field of fucks I've planted, and I've only planted them for you. So that's what this is. This is your personal field of fucks. You have to take care of yourself, and that's what you decided to do. And because you decided to do that, you decided to rest within your 4 of Swords to fix your 9 of Swords, because I know that's what I had to do. Because of that, you're marching into your 6 of Wands. You're marching into victory. The page is saying you took the time, you planted the seeds, you did the work, you did everything you could, and now your clairvoyance is coming in. And it's telling me that when your clairvoyance, it's telling me you passed the test. Some of you will pass the test, some of you won't. And the ones that won't, doesn't mean you can't learn. Everybody can learn. If you're called to a gift, you're called to a gift. If you're not called to a gift, you're not called to a gift. Is what it is. You are called when you are called. Someone just said it's just not all Harry Potter. Yeah, I know that. I know that. That's my bandwagon. I wasn't. Yeah, it's true. But you're walking into victory. You're walking into victory. And not only are you walking into victory, but you're not going to be shouldering any more burdens. And you're not going to be hiding. And there's someone here who's not going to let you hide. And they're coming in as the Lovers. And here's the thing. They don't like something. Because this person who's coming in as the Lovers is also this angel. Is there an Archangel David? Archangel Michael. But although they're saying that, basically what it comes down to is it's a Gemini. could be a Gemini. This is Gemini, but I see twins, so this could be somebody who has a dualistic personality. They don't have to be a Gemini, they don't have to be a high Gemini, but they just might be somebody that has a dualistic personality, like somebody who's, like for myself, I have AUDHD, so I'm a very quiet person. I mean, I'm also an Aquarius, born in the first part of the month, so I'm quiet and observant as it is, but I'm overly quiet and observant, and I don't say anything until I have to, and that's very dualistic. Like, I will sit there, I will watch you get yourself in trouble. And then when I have to, I'm going to shout at you and tell you. I am going to tell you. And you see these people, they're trying to ask for forgiveness, and it's just not going to happen because they are getting told with that horn. And whoever this is, they're tired of the fact that you had to hide. They're tired of that fact, and they want to bring you out into celebration. I mean, that's just what they're going to do. That's just what they're going to do. And this is going to be a divine human for whoever this is for. And I know I'm not the only, like, I felt this channel coming in. I have another one coming up behind this one I can feel in the queue. They're showing me a vending machine of channels. There's only one candy bar in there, guy. Jesus, Ellie. It's my brother. He's funny. He's a wonderful spirit guide. He's just a... love him. But, yeah, this human coming into your life, it doesn't matter if you've met them yet. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It just matters this person that's coming in. And this person is going to hear, because remember, the lovers has a dual meaning. The lovers can be the lovers. It can be two people meeting, but it can also be a fork in the road. And to me, this actually looks like somebody listening and hearing. Because yeah, you see her? I do kind of feel like this is more geared towards a divine feminine with a divine masculine coming in. But I am going to say, let this go wherever it takes you. It just divine human, that way it's gender non-specific, because why not? And it's okay if you don't understand why. It's 100% okay. You just have to understand that the reason why you may not understand is because it just doesn't affect you. Like, people that are completely straight do not necessarily understand gay because they just don't have those feelings and emotions. And once you realize that you don't have those feelings and emotions, and that's why it feels strange to you, that's why it feels weird and odd and off, that way then you can step back and go, oh, so you have to be and you have to be gentler. Or you hurt people, don't you? Yeah, you have to be gentler or you hurt people. So you do have to, oh yay, it didn't land in a dog dish. And shove it right under there. And then take my pajama bottom and do that. And bring this over here. Sometimes we fall to the floor. And why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up, right? That's why we do it. Learn to pick ourselves back up. We gotta be gentle with ourselves in those moments. And sometimes we have to rearrange things. Maybe I'll have to get one of my card holders for this when that was working. You know what I can do too? Sometimes. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Sometimes you have to think differently. You thought differently once before, and you've got it. That actually does, yeah. So for the people that love the metaphors and to listen to me babble, Spirit says sometimes you have to stop doing things the way that you were doing them and try a different way because it's just not working. And it's true, because I am not being gentle enough. And it's okay if you're not gentle enough. We're not all always going to be as gentle as we need to be. Sometimes we just need to learn how to reinforce ourselves so that we can learn how to be gentle. Remember, sometimes when you're heavy-handed, you don't always know how to be gentle. You got to be taught those things. And it's the same thing with learning about gender. You have to learn about it. It is a Venn diagram. I myself enjoy dating men. I have a crush on Joan Jett, and I've had a crush on Joan Jett since I was a little girl. It's perfectly okay. Thankfully, I had Phil Donahue in my life, and I had a gentle mother who allowed me to question at a young age, and at a young age I realized I'm a girl and I just like to play with boy toys. So yeah, doesn't mean I don't like dresses, but I'll choose jeans and a flannel first. But yeah, you know, it's understanding that you don't understand it that makes you step back and say, okay, I can't dislike somebody because I don't understand it, because I don't like fish. If I hated everybody who liked fish, does that make sense to you? Do I want to cook fish in my house? No. But if I was with somebody who enjoyed fish, would I learn how to cook it for them and learn how to cook it in a way where my house doesn't smell like fish? Yes. Because that's how you grow, and that's how you learn, and that's how you communicate. And that's how you learn to see clearer. You know? But yeah, this person is not happy with whatever situation has happened that got you to here. Because this is that new person. And this new person is not here or here. And they got here somehow. And that's their journey to tell you. Just like this is your journey to tell them. And they're going to hear it, and they're not going to be happy. And they are going to look at all the people in the crowd, and they are going to call them all out. They're going to call out the shenanigans. Because they're tired of this. You're tired of it too. You're tired of it too, because you know how to build a pyramid. You know how to build. You know how to build. And you know how to celebrate. And this person is going to make sure that you have this. I don't know what this is. I really don't. But something big is coming in. It's like I can feel it. It's like, so when you're ascending in life, okay, now when I mean ascending, it doesn't matter if you're clair or not, if you're clairvoyant or not, okay? When you're ascending in your life, okay, everybody is born with a life path, right? So let's equate it to something that we can understand in today's modern terms, a highway, okay? If you don't drive and you like to walk or bike, put it in that frame. So, you know, you're born, you get on the tricycle. and you're going around the driveway, and then you're going down the sidewalk, and then you're 16 and you learn how to drive in the road, right? You're learning all this stuff, okay? And you're only learning it for that age. You can't have minutia because you're 16, not, my age, 53, right? So you're going to have the minutia you have at that age. And we must always understand that about kids. Kids take things at face value. At 53, we still take things at face value. But we also know how to see further back into the department store. You see what I'm saying? We're not just seeing the storefront window and the cashiers anymore. We know how to get into the stock room, and we know how to balance the budget. But the thing is there are people older than myself, and I'm only assuming this, although I have a feeling from how I feel at this age that this probably is a feeling I will have in the future, and I can't wait to find out. Or if you guys already know before I do, enlighten me, educate me. I have a feeling that it's the same thing. You're 53, you're looking back on this with a lot more experience and information because, your brain's a book. And then, when you're 90, you're looking at the same thing, but they can see more than I can. That's why older people call younger people stupid. They're not really stupid. It's just they don't have as many encyclopedias as we do. They don't have as many notebooks filled with information to glean upon, They just know that 1 + 1 = 2. They don't understand that sometimes 1 + 1 can equal into a lot more. That's a bigger metaphor than I can do because I'm not really math-brained. Ooh, that was a channel. But that moment when it just takes you over and you're, whew. But yeah, this person is not going to be happy, and there is a lot going on. And if you guys are seeing like little flickers of light, little flickers of blue, little flickers of red, yeah. Also know that those can be other medical signs, so always double check in because it's always good to be proactive because they will tell you when you're getting sick. And then they'll help you calm you down when you do get sick. Very active house today. But yeah, this judgment is rolling in soon for a lot of us. And this judgment isn't our judgment. It's not. It's not a judgment against us. She's telling him what's going on. This judgment is for this person. It's for these people. Because this person is just not happy that this happened. Now, for me, this feels like a partner. And this isn't going to be for everyone. And it is only going to be for those who are ready to step into that greater commitment. Not for people who are, like, if you're the one where you're going to pick out your engagement ring and show it to him and say, this is what I want, this is not for you. This is not your reading. This is for the person that is given the diamond chip and makes the choice to never change it for their whole relationship, because that shit means more to them than anything else in the world. This is for the person who is willing to grow and change, because this person sees that. This person sees that, and they've worked on themselves, and it's what they want. And for me, I feel like this is somebody that was not a previous person in your life. It's not a past love. This is not the person who left here and jumped over here. It's not them. It's somebody out here. And you might be talking to them now. I don't know if you've met them. If you have not met them face to face, it'll be in the next 6 months. If you have not met them, it'll be within the next 6 to 9 months. If you just met, they tell me it was like fireworks. And it was like part of your soul opened and you stepped into light. And of course, don't go headstrong, because you always, but for the people who this is for, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This is really, really specific. And I'll be very honest when I say this has actually been coming for a long time. This reading has been mounting and mounting. I've been getting this reading for a long time. I just haven't been getting told to tell it out, because I myself, from June to now, had to lay in my 4 of Swords to fix my 9 and my 10 of Swords. Like, to the point where the universe made me. And remember, when you do not take the time to rest, the universe will force you to do it. And I'm not kidding. I thought I was resting. I thought I was taking it easy, and obviously I was not doing enough, I guess, for the universe. But the universe is sitting here saying, no, I needed you to lay down and stop. So there may be some of you that literally you laid down and you stopped because you just had to stop. Like, you literally got to a point where you said, if I go any further, I'm not going to be an okay person. And you stopped, because there are some of us out there like that. And when you have ADHD and when you're neurodivergent, you know yourself well enough to be able to look at somebody else and say, buddy, if you do that, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and E, and good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all for letting me be so frank, because, I can't be anybody else but who I am. And that's how I walk into everything. Obviously, I do it with couth and judge the moment that I'm in, because we all must take a step back when we're walking in to any situation to make sure that we are bringing forward the appropriateness, the appropriate part of ourselves. Because, when you're walking, like with this, if I was doing a reading like this with somebody who had just lost a husband or something like that, I'm not going to be this raucous. I'm going to be a far more gentler person, and you have to judge that area. And this judge that area. Judgment, making the right judgment. And that's the thing. This person is upset that these people did not make the right judgment. And you see how they're gray? And there's all this color up there. These people are getting left behind in the ascension. They're not ascending. I'm just seeing a line. They're just not ascending. And I'm unsure if it's just this lifetime or every lifetime. They're just not going to ascend. I asked Spirit if they change, can they ascend? And he said if they change, they'll dip backwards and down into their power, and then they'll come back up. They have to dip back down, because a lot of life is you're rolling that. It's Sisyphus. You're rolling that ball. You're rolling that ball. You're rock. It's a rock. You're rolling that rock. You're rolling that rock. The thing is the more you roll the rock up the hill, the more you learn how to do it, and you get stronger, and then you get to the top and you can sit there with that rock and go, oh, whew, we made it. And then you can just let it go and go down, and it can do its thing by rolling in the gully, because there's always going to be another hill. And you're going to leisurely, it's like those little moments, you're going to leisurely walk down. And then because you've got the strength to lift this boulder, you're going to lift it up this hill again, and you're just going to grow stronger and stronger and stronger with growth. Okay? These people made that choice not to grow. And if we're looking at this from a universal standpoint, I'm being told this is the universe. And the universe heard this person, and the universe put its horns on, its horns on, and is angry, and has now cast something upon the world, and it is pissed off. Let me tell you what. Because to be very honest, there are many different kinds of clairvoyance and oracles out there. And my mediumship does kind of ride the line of Medusa a lot. And the thing is, I am not always the clairvoyant that you're going to come and have a reading with, unless you really, really want some honest truth and you really want to work out your problems with the other side. That is usually what I do, and that is honestly why I am very rough. And they're saying they like that. They said, because I'm a truth teller. And yeah, exactly. And I don't mince words. And that's what some people need, because sometimes on this side, you have to do spiritual work with whatever spirit is on the other side. Sometimes that spirit needs to come over here and do some spiritual work. So I'm that oracle that takes care of spirits on the other side that need to do their spiritual work and figure out why they were this person on this side. And then sometimes it's, either way. But the universe isn't happy. And it's not happy that a lot of the oracles got jumped out. Some of the oracles just went that way. They're not happy about this. And that's why I explained that, because if I don't explain that, you guys won't understand. I know that there are more of us out there, but, some people, they are meant to be mediums that bring people together and yada yada. That's not my job. My job is to tell you why Aunt Susie's pissed off that you peed in her boot, and your job is to look at me and go, well, this is what Aunt Susie did, and this is why I peed in her boot. And you know what? Aunt Susie on the other side, she got to learn a lesson. And that's all of what it is about crossing over and being here. You're learning a lesson here that you're bringing to the other side, and then you're reviewing it, and then you're making your next decisions. It's like graduating from college and making decisions and plans at how you want to get your job and go through life. And some of these people, not happy. The universe is not happy because it put them in a hole. It made them hide. The universe is not happy about that. Oh my God, this is I could feel this reading coming all the way here. Yeah, like the Knight of Swords. It was coming in like the Knight of Swords. And that's the thing, this is rushing in. This is like, for me, it feels like a lot of head pressure. And yes, I am medically fine. I am better than I've been in a long time. And that's sad. But yeah, this is rushing in, and this knight is coming in. He is coming in on the air. He's rushing in on the air to see you. He's going to bring in celebration. He's going to bring something else in too, but I'm unsure of what that is. Where are we? Oh, we're at an hour and 14. This is nice. Gotta figure out how to put videos together. If any of you know how, or an app I can use, let me know. So Spirit, this guy's this human's rushing in, eh? So this is the birth of a wish. And they're telling me that this is probably like, let me make some more coffee in a minute. Spirit's telling me that this is like a wish that you wished a long time ago. Birth of wishes. Birth of wishes. I keep hearing birth of wishes. This was a wish from a long time. I mean, I know for myself, like, okay, I know where I fit in this reading, okay? And when I realized where I fit in this reading, that's when these cards say you need to tell everybody else. And that's why we're doing this. Because obviously, Spirit has a lot to say, and we have a puppy. We have a puppy breathing, might be having a bad dream. Might be having a bad dream. He didn't get his yogurt and cookie yet. He will though. Okay. It's not just me. We're all picking it up. Also, I'm just letting my clairvoyant go and being real because honest to God, I can't walk in and be anybody I'm not. I just can't mask it. I just was raised that, Martha, people have to accept you as you are, period. And she wasn't wrong. Because why fake who you are? It's so boring. It takes so much energy. Isn't it just better to just love and do and be kind and feed off kindness that's genuine? But this is a wish. This is a wish. This is they give me that line from Fruits Basket, a long ago wish that somehow got forgotten. If you've watched Fruits Basket, you get that. Because I know the wish. I know the wish that was long ago forgotten. Go watch Fruits Basket if you don't mind. If you have a defiance disorder, don't go watch Fruits Basket. Don't you dare! Don't go watching that Fruits Basket. Don't you even think about it. Anyway, that's how I defeat my defiance disorder. Also, I'm the only one who can tell myself what to do. So if I'm going to be defiant with myself, I better have a good reason. Literally, that's how I break it down. Otherwise, I won't do anything, even that I say. But this is the birth of a wish. This is a wish that you wished for. You wished for this. You wished for this in your soul, and you wished for it in light. You wished for this in your soul. And it doesn't matter what plane of existence you were on. It doesn't matter if your soul was in this plane of existence, or if it was on the other side learning, or if it was on another, what do I want to call it? In another path area. I will explain the highway metaphor to remind me. Maybe I'll do that in a separate one and I'll call it Life is a Highway.